Thank you for joining us for another episode of Visuals, Vanities, and Ventures, where we talk about all things photography. I'm Rick McCauley. I've been a professional photographer for 50 years now. I've worked in editorial, studio, and wedding industries, hundreds and hundreds of weddings, thousands of portraits, thousands of college students, newspaper, concerts. If there's something that needs photographing, I've probably done it.
Now you did real estate.
I did real estate.
Yeah. I'm edric. I'm just a real estate guy who likes to create exotic visuals of ordinary objects. But first, notice the visual to the like, subscribe, and share button on your screen. Click them for the vanity of supporting a unique show so that we can venture into the ether of the mysterious algorithm of the master control computer.
Oops. We're not full of ourselves at all.
And to send us some examples of your images to podcast vvv@ourimaging.com. If we use one of your pictures, we'll plug your site, page, podcast, channel, handle, avatar, blog, or whatever technical mumbo jumbo you might have. We'll even plug your sticks and bricks business.
In other words, we'll brand your mule if needed. All right, what are we doing today?
Today we're going to talk about how... this is you.
Is it?
Because here's your name here.
All right, you can see we can't even read our own damn scripts. Okay, here we go. Today we're going to talk about how film photography is making a comeback. Both older people who started shooting pictures with film and younger people who have recently discovered the craft are enjoying the analog process of film photography. It takes a different mindset to shoot with film. The equipment for film photography was often beautifully machined metal or carbon fiber housings in later years, obviously, but they were durable. I mean, we used to jokingly say with my old Canon F1s, you could beat off a mugger and go back to shooting without missing a beat. And then there was the fun in the darkroom. And not all of it was photography either. But to try telling a digital person that, you just go, can you come in the darkroom to process with me?
It's very dark.
It is, yeah.
Dark. That's why it's a dark room. Well, it's kind of small and there's lots of sensitive equipment there to run into. And
well, less sensitive equipment and more chemicals to get messy.
Yeah.
And then the beauty of working in the darkroom for me is because I loved seeing the picture come to life as I took it from exposed film to processed film to contact sheet to final print. And it was there was a discipline involved with film photography that wouldn't let you create 5,000 images but concentrate on creating 2 or 3 absolutely exceptional ones.
Damn it, Rick. Why don't you go find a cave and some berries and make your images by smearing berry juice on the wall? You see how it is? You see? He always wants to make everything as difficult and complicated as possible.
Film photography is simpler. I'm telling you, all I've got to do on my camera is set the aperture, shutter speed, and heck, if it has a light meter built in, I set the ISO. And other than that, I am the image creator, and it's just a tool. The lines become blurred with your new fancy digital, mirrorless, computerized, overcomplicated camera. Do you even know what half the programs or programming will do?
Well, you don't have to use all of them.
Right. Okay, shooting with a film camera, you as the photographer, you decided what film you were going to use based on lighting conditions, environment, what you were shooting. Was it black and white color? Was it going to be in a fluorescent lighting setup? Was it going to be in halogen, incandescent? What were the lighting setups that were going to be part and parcel of capturing an exceptional image? Not just a good one, not just an acceptable one, but one that stood out above all the others. That was shooting with a film camera.
I think you can take just as outstanding a picture with a digital camera, and you don't have to worry about what light you're in, because if the camera doesn't detect the light and get it right, you can change your colors in the computer. You don't have to go to a dark room. You can sit on your couch and be comfortable and enjoy life, and edit your pictures instead of going to this tiny, cramped dark room with dangerous chemicals and fiddly, fragile equipment and junk everywhere that you have to find with your hands in the dark.
And if you're very methodical, it's not a problem.
Well, not a problem for you, definitely. You're definitely, one methodical kind of guy. I mean, if you can come up with a mythology for something, you're the guy.
I do love order and structure, but even in the creative world. Okay, yeah, when you shoot with a film camera, yes, there were some limitations on the number of images, but when you get them taken, and you head to the darkroom.
Well, I think I can carry more images with my 0.5 terabyte SD card than you can film canisters.
Well, you can, but you know what? You also will spend a lot more time looking at that tiny little screen to make sure you got the picture you got, where I knew what I had. I just had to take it in the darkroom and put it on paper. Now, I do admit the process of capturing, one of the things that you have the advantage of with the digital photography is we had to carry multiple rolls of film, and we had to change them in the field, and we had to be very careful that we didn't get them overexposed, didn't expose them to heat, that sort of thing. There was all sorts of elements that required more, if you will, maintenance than there would be with a digital card. And you put so many, you're right. And that's where, the quantity versus the quality, I will tell you this. When you're dealing with film, you would have minor imperfections between images, just like you do in digital cameras, especially in a digital camera where you're firing off 20, 30, 40, 50 shots of the same scene, basically. Because it's very hard then to pick which one is the best one. Now, in film...
President said quantity has a quality all its own.
As usual, he has a way of stating the obvious that makes sense in a certain perverse sort of way. And I'm not going above it. All right. But the creating the final image required you envisioning it first in the camera, not letting some soulless machine decide for you what was the best way to capture the image.
No, the machine just makes a suggestion. You can make it work any way you want to. I mean,
that's why they have
white balance, but you can change your white balance. You can change your tonality, adjust your contrast. You can do so you have so much more control over the image rather than the film manufacturers having all the control over the image.
Well, they didn't have all the control over. They had a significant. It was the limitations of the technology. It wasn't so much them exerting control. It was because you were capturing on film.
Limitations. Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, the limitations forced the technology into your brain, not into your equipment.
Yeah. Well, definitely force some technology into your brain.
All right. All right, let's say that we both win the argument. Me, the camera is simpler because it requires more personal intervention. You, with the processing, because the computer, yes, it does have advantages that would take me hours in a dark room to replicate that can be done in milliseconds in the camera.
All right, well, that's a good way to keep the peace.
I agree. I think that's a good place. All right. Ed, you want to take us out of this episode?
Well, if you want to see more of our visuals, check out our vanity website, rimaging.com. where we venture into the wide, wild world of web marketing and fine art photography. We have a number of gift items you can purchase there, from coffee cups to yoga mats, as well as our fine art wall prints.
Thanks again for joining us for Visuals, Vanities, and Ventures. You can see our work, again, as we said, at rimaging.com. That's RMAGING.com. And email us with any questions, comments, or show ideas at podcastvvv@rimaging.com. And
we would also like to see your images in our email. If there's one, if we use one on the show, we'll give you credit and plug your website, social media, online store, or whatever you want.
thanks again. And if you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends.